Hi, book lovers. So glad you're here to join me as we talk with author Tama Fortner. She is the author of many Christian books, and in this chat, we are talking about her latest Christmas book, A Pop Out and Play Advent Nativity. I can't wait to introduce this sweet lady to you. Be sure to enter my birthday giveaway for a chance to win books, recipes, and all kinds of goodies. The winner will be chosen on October 27th, so be sure to join in the celebration. The link to enter is in the descriptions. Stay tuned till the end to find out who we are talking to next month. Happy reading. We should. There we go. Maybe. There you are. Yay! We made it work.
Yes.
It's good to see your sweet face.
It's good to see you.
Well, welcome to our Again author interview. So glad to have you and to be talking a little bit about Christmas here in October is a little extra fun. We've had a cold snap here in Texas, so my kids are like, it feels like Christmas. And like, I know it kind of does. Well, Tama, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
As you said, I'm Tama Fortner. I write books. I've been blessed to write books for about 25 years now for all ages, but children are my love. I love writing books for kids, as well as the moms who try to raise them. Myself, I'm married to Jeff for almost 25 years now. Just
Congratulations.
like a little bit of forever and a little bit like it's always been that way. So,
Yep.
one of those strange things. I have two kiddos. Lauren, my daughter, graduated college and out on her own and living her independent life, which is, okay, I did one.
One down, one to go.
My son Kaylor is a junior in college and doing awesome. So, yeah.
So exciting. So there's, the light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Yes, it's a little sweet. You love to see them fly, but oh, I miss those.
I know. My husband's like, why is there stuff here and stuff there? And why are there pillows stacked in the living room? I'm like, well, you have kids and the mess will be gone when they're gone. So
Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Exactly. Now, Tama, you said you've been a children's author about 20 years now. And did you always want to be a children's author?
So, from about age 8, I wanted to be a writer. I loved playing with words, and I guess I always gravitated toward children's stories, even after I wasn't a kid anymore, just because of the playfulness and the imaginativeness. We'll make up a word there.
There you go.
Of it. But as far as actually being a children's writer myself, honestly, I would say I just kind of slipped into it, but I think it's been God's plan, and I was lucky enough to tap into his plan. So
It's when we finally align with God's will, good things happen. I was stubborn for a long time, and so.
aren't we?
Now, you've written all kinds of books and a lot of different types of books for kids. Which type of children's book was the most challenging?
The rhyming picture book is the most challenging. I did one, I've done several that haven't been published, but I did one with Jamie Ivey that has been published. And you've got to get the story in there. You've got to get the rhyme in there, and it has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Got to do it all within about 400 words, and that is just such a challenge. I know a lot of folks think, oh, picture books, they're so short, no big deal, log rhymes with dog, but it's tougher than it looks. So if you ever saw me sitting in the coffee shop mumbling to myself and counting syllables on my fingers, then I wasn't losing my mind. I was right.
I know I've been working on a rhyming book, and my kids will say, well, Mom, why are you tapping the table? It's like, well, I'm trying to make sure the rhythm is right. And so they'll come and they'll sit next to me and read it and tap it out too. And so it's been a fun experiment.
Yeah, no, beta readers like that are a huge help because in my brain I can make it fit the way
Hmm.
I want it to, and then other people read it and it doesn't read that way.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, I had my critique group last night, and it's one of those like, that sounded differently in my head than it
yeah,
did in your mouth.
exactly, exactly.
Well, awesome. Well, what was your inspiration for your pop out and play Advent book?
You know, I will have to confess, I wish I could take credit for that. This is one of those situations where my editor came to me and was like, "This is what we want to do. Can you make it work?" The words, Keith Allen, is that his last name? Yes, I'm sorry. I haven't met him. Keith Allen is the one who made all the pieces and the paper engineering work. So I did the words, but yeah, it was my editor's inspiration. And I'm just so blessed to have been able to partner with them in doing that.
Yeah, they're great little figures and very sturdy. I mean, my 8-year-old was putting it together yesterday, and I was like, oh, please don't break it before tomorrow. And nope, he did great.
You know, I'm a little concerned with how it would come out because these are little kids, trying to
Mhm.
put these pieces together, but they are super sturdy. So I was impressed. So kudos to the engineers.
They did a great job for sure. Which part of the book was the most fun to work on?
Oh, there were two parts that I really loved. One is just figuring out it's 25 days, so you have 25 little pieces, and figuring out 25 little pieces. So how to work a lantern into the story, how to work
Hmm.
a bale of hay into the story, along with the wise men and the shepherds and Mary and Joseph, and how to get them to hit on the right days and fit into the space that we had in the book. It made it really, really interesting and a little bit of a challenge. Um, the other thing I love, and I try to do this in all my books, is being able to sneak in little bits of bigger truths.
Hmm.
Like on page, it's the December 1st, um, when we're just starting the story, it says, when the time was just right, God sent an angel to visit Mary. So,
Hmm.
snippet about when the time was right. And I hope those seeds get planted in kids that, timing is something that we trust God with. And
Right.
that's just, I love sneaking in those little bits of bigger truth.
There's opportunities for bigger conversations for the older kids in the age range that are like, wait a minute, why did it say that?
Yeah, it's a reminder to me too, because I need reminding far too often.
I know when my kids were the really small and we were reading all the little Bible stories, sometimes that was like the truth I needed to hear that day. It's like I'm trying to teach you, but I need to hear this too, apparently.
Have always said that children's books are some of the best teachers for parents. So,
Very true, very true. Now, what does your family think of your writing?
as I mentioned, I've been doing this for, a couple of decades now. So this is just kind of what mom does. As far as how they react around the house, I'll come in with my book and I'm like, look what I got. They're like, oh yeah, there's another. But what I love is I'll get feedback from somebody else. Your son told me this, and this. And I'm like, oh, or,
Aw.
husband, this and this. And I'm like, oh, could you tell me? But,
They're telling somebody, so that's
they're
good.
telling somebody.
Too fun. Well, since your kids are older now, how do you stay attuned to your young audience?
Yeah, so that I believe is so crucial because, my kids are in their early 20s, almost 21, my youngest is. And even though it's only been, a decade or so since they were in the picture book and younger reader categories, kids have changed so much, and especially pre-pandemic versus post-pandemic, I see a lot of changes, and I started realizing that I was losing touch with that. So I volunteer at my church's Sunday school program. I teach 4 and 5-year-olds.
Ah.
Wow, keep you on your toes and in touch with reality.
Tell you how it is.
I love teaching them. I hope I am able to bless them in some way, and they bless me with so much. So, but yeah, keeping in touch with kids is just crucial. It's crucial.
Yes, they always say the funniest things, and what is it? They hold nothing back. They have no filters, and we put a
Yeah,
lot of filters up as adults, but kids they don't.
yeah. Because sometimes I have a co-teacher. Sometimes we just look at each other and just absolutely die laughing because you can't get that kind of truth out of anyone except a child. So.
Very true, very true. Now, Tama, what was been the most impactful book in your life,
Mm,
other than the Bible?
yes, other than the Bible.
Yeah.
I, you know, I, you bless you. You sent me some of these questions in advance, so I thought about that, and there are key books that stand out. Um, but I think the most impactful was this series of books I stumbled across in the library when I was in about third-ish grade, something like that. It was a series of biographies, and it was on people like Elizabeth Blackwell and Dorothea Dix, and there was like an 8 or 10 book series that I just plowed through. And the thing that impacted me was none of them had it easy. Um, Getting to the point where they wanted to be, getting to make their dreams come true, but they kept going. And I didn't grow up in the easiest situation, and so it just really struck me that keep going, and they all turned to faith, which also struck me. I didn't grow up in a Christian environment, and so just seeing that alternative way of doing things, that alternative Christian life, that I wasn't, growing up in the church, it really made a huge impact on me.
Wow, that's really neat that those books not only inspired your, writing, reading, and your faith. That's amazing at such a young age.
I was blessed with a librarian at my elementary school who discovered my love for reading, and she just funneled books to me. So
They are magicians in their own right, for sure.
they
Awesome. Well, when did you first call yourself a writer, Tama?
probably too late. Probably too late. And I would encourage other people to do it earlier than I did. But in my mind, I think writer had taken on this like huge mystical aura to it that I didn't feel qualified to claim. And sometimes I still don't. So I didn't claim writer until I had my own book, my own first book published, God is Always Good. And I had probably published by that time a dozen or more collaborations and ghostwriting, but I didn't feel legit until then. And I don't follow my example. Don't follow my example.
I know it's one of those things is it seems so elusive and painted in such a light that you're just like, I can't claim it. But when you do,
Yeah.
it empowers you to move forward.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, if you could spend a day with another popular author, who would you pick?
Oh, so I struggled with that question. There are so many people, and I read in so many different genres. So my answer is horribly vague, but I would love to just hang out with a couple of groups. There's a group of children's writers and just listen to the talk about the craft and the process. And then another group of I love suspense and historical novels, so I could get another group of those and just listen to, and I just want to hang out and listen. you know.
That sounds like that would be fun to be a fly on the wall in the Inklings Society, or just to be around other writers is inspiring and encouraging, and it's always good to put yourself in good company.
We are a different breed, but we're fun to hang out with.
That's right. That's right. Once you get us out of the house, we're good. Well, what is your favorite book, Tama?
Oh, that's like picking a favorite child almost. But I love Little Women, and I know that's probably a little cliche, but Joe March is probably one of the people, quote unquote, who inspired me on this writing walk. Kind of if she did it, I could do it. So,
Yes.
yeah.
And what is it? In the most recent Little Woman movie, there's a scene where Joe is laying out all the papers to put the story together near the end, and I'm in tears. I'm just like, yes, this is exactly it. This is the process, the pain. And I was just like, and my mom looked at me like, you usually don't cry at movies. I'm like, I know, I don't.
When Amy burned her manuscript,
Mhm.
I struggled. I was mad. So, no backup back then.
Yeah, that's very true. Oh, goodness. Well, what is your favorite children's book other than your own?
Yeah, so I would never claim my own. One of my favorites is, oh goodness, the name just went out of my head. Oh, there it goes. Click Clack Moo. It's
Yes.
one that I read to my kids, and you do all the funny voices and the sound effects, and the book is just wonderful. But there's also that bonding, gathering in, snuggle time that's built into picture books. Yeah,
Yes.
that was my favorite. So you know that one too.
I do. My kids love that one, and I still have it around. It's like, I cannot get rid of this book. It's just too fun. And
No,
even the other ones in the same series. I mean, Duck has so much personality.
and the interplay of the illustrations.
Hmm. They had a good team going there for sure. Let's see. When did your writing journey begin? I think you say this a little bit in your bio on your website, but I'd like to hear it from you.
Yeah, so again, I read Little Women at about age 8 and was so inspired by that. So I can remember I had a kind of a sort of walk-in closet, the 70s version, but there was a little space where I drug a cardboard box in there, and I had a paper and an extension cord with a lamp, and I wrote. I wish I still had those. I probably have them packed away. I'm not even sure what I wrote, but I remember holding up in my little office like Joe's annex in the attic
Uh-huh.
and writing. And I don't know that I ever really stopped. So just playing with words in all shapes, forms, and fashions.
Yes, yes. That's so fun. I love that it started so early and you just kept with it for so long. Let's see. Trying to. What are you reading right now?
So I am one of those people that reads multiple books at the same time, depending on my mood. Yeah. So I have a book on my Kindle, a book, by my devotional. So, but I'm slow about reading nonfiction. I read it and soak it in and sit it aside for a couple of days and then read another page or two. So my slow reads are, the Screw Tape Letters. I'm still working my way through that one. I've read it in the past, but I just wanted to revisit that one.
Yeah.
The Practice of the Presence of God by Brother Lawrence. That's kind of my page, let it sink in here and there book. I am devouring fiction I devour. So I am devouring Deadly Conclusions by Kathy Harris. She's a local friend here in Nashville, or just recently moved away from Nashville, but her book, reading an advanced copy of her book. I think it comes out the first week of November. I'll have it in my socials. But it's really great, and it's set here in Nashville, so you're like, oh, I know that street.
Oh, too fun. I know it's always kind of when I've read some thrillers and suspense that's been set in the town that I live in, it's kind of like, I don't know if I want to go down this street. I know
Yeah.
what happens here. Oh, too fun. Now, the book we're talking about today is your Advent Nativity book, which is about Christmas. Now, what is your favorite Christmas tradition?
Oh, so those are changing right now. Because my kids are getting older, they don't necessarily want to throw out the sparkly oats to the reindeer anymore, which was one of my favorites when they were, I know, right? But they just won't do it. But now I am learning at the stage we're in to just enjoy the gathering. Anytime we get together, all of them together. So it's, we go to see the Christmas lights. We gather for a Christmas morning breakfast that my husband graciously cooks breakfast for us. And but that gathering.
Mm-hmm.
Once the kids move out, that just becomes infinitely more precious.
And the being together, what we have all of our family in the same town. And so we have to be really kind of picky about, or have had to come to the place of like, Christmas doesn't have to happen on a specific day. It's about being together and celebrating together no matter what day it is. And so that's kind of been something, just gathering together, being together for an extended period of time, celebrating has definitely been a mental switch that we've had to do since moving all together.
I applaud you for doing that. I did not do that in times. I can remember we would go to like 7 or 8 Christmases within like a 2-day stretch. And it's crazy. So I applaud you for figuring that out before I did.
As the kids started, increasing in number, it became like, no, I can't do this anymore. All right, here's a tricky question that everybody has an opinion on, but when is the right time to put up your Christmas tree?
Oh, man. You're throwing me under the bus with that one. Religion, politics, and what to put in, when to put up the Christmas tree. That we don't.
We don't talk about those things.
So we have a date at our house that we don't put it up before, and that is my son's birthday. His birthday is November 30th, and I have friends and some relatives that have kind of Christmas-ish birthdays, and they always kind of got lost in the Christmas shuffle. So we don't put it up until after his birthday. Personal choice. Everyone is welcome.
Everyone has their own thoughts, and they're welcome to their thoughts, but we're just having a chat. I know I have a kiddo with a December birthday, but his is 7 days before Christmas.
Oh,
and so there's like, no. It's like we say December 1st, our tree goes up.
Yeah.
And it's usually around the time we have his birthday party, too. So it's like, we'll do his birthday party at the beginning of the month rather than closer to his birthday. It's like, yeah, I can't just have 7 days with my Christmas tree.
Not to enjoy them for a while.
I know. We try to make it fun to where he has his own Christmas tree and he puts on dates, like counts down to his birthday. And it's like, we're going to make Christmas special for you, buddy.
That's a fabulous idea.
Too fun. Now, what can we expect next from you?
So in April, actually, I have another picture book coming out that I co-wrote with Michelle Niedert. She is a licensed professional counselor, and it's called God, I Feel Sad. It's a picture book, the first in a series, and it's helping kids deal with the big emotions that we have sometimes, grown-ups and adults, but in a faith-based way. So Michelle is bringing in some practical applications, and there's a parent page, and there'll be additional resources to help kids deal with their emotions. But the picture book is helping them figure out what they're feeling and how to deal with it, and bringing God into all of that. So I am super excited about it. That comes out in April from Zonder Kids. And so that we'll be launching and annoying people with all kinds of information about that in the coming months. But yeah, that's one we are very excited about.
That is fun. I've definitely seen a lot of stuff on the secular side of dealing with emotions, and it's great to see the Christian market doing, trying to do the same thing, but with God as the center point. So that's exciting.
Yes, he should be at the center. So yeah.
That's right. Well, where can people find out more about you, Tama?
So the best place is just my website. It's so easy. It's just tamafortner.com. There's links to everything there, the socials. I'm pretty much everywhere as Tama Fortner or Tama Fortner Books, but all the links are on my website. There's also some cool freebies on there, newsletter sign up. So head over there and check it out. Just finished updating it. So if you find a typo, let me know.
You win a prize. Yay! Well, thank you so much for joining us today here, Miss Tama. We I love seeing you again. Enjoyed seeing you back in June, and good to see you again and celebrating your latest book. So excited for you.
Thank you so much for having me. It has been wonderful
Yeah.
to chat and visit with you again.
Yes, and we will do it again another time, I'm sure.
Sounds great.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, book lovers, for joining Tama and I in this fun chat. Check out the description link to Tama's books and how to connect with her in the descriptions below. You can also see my full review of Simply Christmas and my Advent Nativity over on my blog. The link is also in the descriptions. Next month, we'll be talking with author Josie Siller, the author of Howie's Broken Hee-Haw. I can't wait to talk with this sweet author and a little bit how we wouldn't celebrate Christmas without Easter. Join us December 1st at 1 p.m. Central. Happy reading.